CES 2017. Now, the stock market has rallied since the election of Donald Trump, and we were able to sit down with the Consumer Technology Association's president, Gary Shapiro, about how the political environment can affect technology businesses. And we also wanted to know why the CTA chose the keynote speakers it did this year, from NVIDIA to Under Armour to Carnival. Our audience, what I think they really love about CES is the fact that there are so many breaking announcements here, and those can impact the stock, or more longer term, you get an inside look at a company's plans for the year. So can you comment on that, the fact that this is a place where companies love to break news?
It's not only breaking news, it's a five-sense experience of seeing how a company positions itself to the most important audience in the world. They're investors, they're buyers, they're the media themselves, 6,000 media. But that's why everyone comes in one place, and this is the center of the world each year for innovation. There's no larger or more important annual trade or business event than CES. And it is used by companies because they get a lot of their business from the year, and they establish the business relationships, which has really changed lately, is everyone is partnering. If you can't partner as a company, you're going to die. And that's what it's about. And
I think that we really saw that firsthand with the NVIDIA keynote. I mean, so many announcements in that keynote, and strategic partnerships. So why did the CTA choose the keynote speakers that it chose this year, in particular NVIDIA and Under Armour?
Well, we had a whole process, and it's very strategic on our part. It's one of the most highly sought after speaking engagements in the world for business executives. So we focus on, are you going to make a statement not only about your company, but about the future? Can you present something original and innovative? Can you articulate that to a global audience? And with NVIDIA, Under Armour, and Carnival, we saw three, in a sense, first-timers, non-traditional really with Carnival and Under Armour, but still focused on technology and innovation in a huge way. What NVIDIA talked about with self-driving cars and with gaming, and their announcements were huge. What Carnival talked about basically are floating cities, and they're the first one to create a whole city based on the Internet of Things in a device. Absolutely huge. And Under Armour launched a whole new category of technology, sleepwear, plus sneakers that could do all sorts of things and tie in with your health and exercising. None of those keynoters disappointed, and they amazed the audience.
Speaking of innovation, something that could put a damper on that is the regulatory environment. So how do you view kind of this changing of the guards, as you would say, on the political side, and how that's going to impact the prosperity of tech companies in particular?
Well, that's been the global question we've been getting from media all week, and it's a hot discussion, but we are very optimistic about the all-Republican Congress and Republican administration committed to cutting back an enormous number of unnecessary, complex rules that are just employing lawyers who frankly don't add a lot to the GDP or to any company. They're just an overhead cost that's totally unnecessary and makes us less competitive globally. Second, we are excited about the focus on expanding the economy and about jobs and about investment. So the fact that the stock market has gone up dramatically since the election was something I was talking about publicly the day after the election. There's no question that businesses think it's important. There is concern, of course, about some of the unpredictability, some of the comments about trade.
Yes.
I think there's an interest in bilateral agreements and renegotiating NAFTA to update it, and an opportunity for a deal with Britain, and some pressure on the EU because they're going after the biggest American companies, and frankly, the Obama administration didn't do anything about it. There is excitement about getting away from the very anti-business Obama administration that had almost no business executives and a very anti-business bent, but a pro-tech bent. And there's also, but there is some concern about some of this false view that somehow we're going to bring back manufacturing to the U.S. of low-cost goods and create jobs, when it's really high-tech manufacturing where we have a great opportunity. It's like what Germany does. I think there's excitement about recrafting our educational system. Instead of just throwing kids into college and giving them worthless degrees where they end up living with their parents, we think there's hope for the Trump administration to redirect education to focus on the trains that we need for the next century of jobs.
Well, that's it for us from the Consumer Electronics Show this year. We hope you enjoyed following along. For Investors Business Daily, I'm Alissa Coram.